Hello, and you are very welcome to my Monday messages. I'm a bit later than usual today for various reasons, but better late than never. So today I want to talk about a wonderful remedy that has come into my focus for many reasons, actually, over the last few days, but particularly given the well, some would refer to it as the national crisis that's going on here in Ireland at the moment, and is a reflection, a symptom, if you like, of what's happening globally. But I want to talk about this particular remedy because I don't often think of one homeopathic remedy for a large group of people, but in this instance it just kept coming into my focus, and it seems highly relevant for very many of us at the moment. And okay, so just to give a little bit of context for those who may not be living in Ireland who are watching this, I'm aware that as usual, the media coverage of inconvenient things is not great in mainstream news outlets. So what's happening here in Ireland is massive national protests of what started off being the farmers and the hauliers and the truckers and the small business owners and transport providers that have been called to take to the streets in protest at the rising fuel costs, but not so much the rising fuel costs actually, but for the refusal of the current government to adjust any of the taxation that's attached to those fuel costs. And this being a kind of straw that broke the camel's back situation, I believe, my perspective is. And I think that this is largely an illustration of how desperately close to the edge very many people have been feeling for a very long time. And it reaches a stage where it becomes unsustainable to keep absorbing those rising costs, now whether they are literal financial costs or whether they are health costs or whatever they are. And I think this is day 6 or day 7 of people being literally camping out on the streets in their vehicles all over the country. Mostly men, not exclusively, but mostly men. And their resolve and their resilience in the face of deaf ears, a lot of deaf ears, and a lot of criticism, a lot of highly questionable treatment by the police, who are ordered to police the streets, and in the face of really challenging weather up until the last day or so, actually. And I'm very, very aware that for many it's hard to maintain a resolve and a commitment to the goals, which is a fair deal or a fairer deal, not only for them, but for the whole country. And all of us will benefit if they actually reach those goals. So I don't want to go into it in great detail, but that's just to set some context for those of you who this might be news to. And what I wanted to actually send is some support for continued resolve, continued strength, continued safety, and and to tap into the energy of this particular remedy to do that. And that resolve and that ability to nourish has to start with ourselves before we can share it with others. But I'm very mindful that this is affecting not only those who are on the front line, as it were, but their families who are there in support, or perhaps not there, but at home and supporting them, and all of the rest of the majority of this country at the moment who are fully in support of their actions and understand the ripple effect of them standing tall and strong. And, for everybody involved in this, we can easily, our resolve can weaken, and that can weaken with us becoming cold and hungry and tired and all of those things. And I'm very heartened to read that the call to raise funds to actually feed those on the front line has been really, really honoured. And food, I don't think, I might be wrong, but I don't think is an issue. There is a call out to give and provide whatever can be provided in terms of warmth for these brave souls. And there's also a frustration, I think, amongst many of us who we can't actually physically get there because we don't have the fuel to actually travel to those spots. So, cut a long story short, what I thought was, well, what can I do? What can I do given that I can't actually travel to those spots and I can't offer any kind of tangible, practical support? But what I can do is I can offer the energy of this wonderful remedy. And the remedy that comes to my mind is the remedy oak, which I know that even just imagining that tree and how powerful it is within this country of Ireland, how powerful it was in the past as well, symbolic of the Irish people's connection to the land and to nature in its wider sense, and its honouring of all of those things. And the fact that this country used to be covered in oak forests, it was literally covered. And I'm very, very blessed to live in County Kerry that still protects what remains of those oak forests. And as a homeopathic remedy, which is highly relevant for me because we are still in Homeopathy Awareness Week, it is an extremely powerful remedy that I have used many times to good effect in the past. Never before as a collective remedy, but as a personal one-to-one remedy with huge effect. And it's a remedy that I've actually used personally for myself as well. So let me tell you about oak. And then if that resonates with you and you would like to be added to the list of people included in a transmission that I'm going to do this evening to those out there on the streets in need of this remedy, or at home actually, if you'd like to be added, then please just pop into the comments the word oak 1. And I've also recorded a downloadable guided meditation to help us to touch into that energy, some of that energy, and to feel it for ourselves and be able to transmit it outwards if we wish to. And if you'd like to receive access to that free meditation, then you can pop in the word oak 2 into the comments. And of course, if you want to do both, then pop them both into the comments and you can do both things. So let me tell you about this beautiful energy. So it is possibly the most grounding of all the remedies. And it's not difficult to understand why. When we think of the depth of the roots of the oak tree and the width of them, it goes right out as far as the crown, the branches and the leaves go, and beyond. It's also a slow growing tree. It's a tree of tremendous strength and resilience and fortitude, and offers ancient wisdom, the wisdom of the elders, of the trees that take their time to really root in and to be completely embedded in this soil, this precious soil, and to be there witnessing, witnesses to everything that goes on around what stands above ground and below ground. It offers patience, it offers resilience in the face of inevitable stress. It offers an ability to feel tolerance of the shortcomings of others. It offers a certain amount of resignation and acceptance of the things that are really beyond our control, and the ability to draw upon our strengths when we need to transform those that are within our control. It offers a clarity of vision, even when it seems hopeless, and offers an ability to see potential, possibility, and solutions when we have that clarity. One of the wonderful things about the oak tree is its ability to shelter so much additional life, because it is so strong and so rooted and so grounded. Most oak trees have an abundance of other lives within the tree itself and around its roots and in its boughs. And that energy is what the homeopathic remedy gives as well. So it's a willingness to share the burdens of others when there is gain to be had for both parties. It can lift tension, and it shows us where possibilities and solutions lie. It can even actually encourage a sense of humour, a lightness of touch when necessary, when needed. It is a fantastic support for the nervous system generally, and a great support for our lowest in body energy center, the base chakra, which is all about safety and groundedness. It supports us in very difficult situations. It supports that ability to navigate periods of unusual mental stress. And it also supports literally the spine, the physical spine and the energetic spine, so giving us backbone. It encourages us to feel ourselves, to feel integrated and whole again, and to stop living our lives according to the will of others, and actually check in with what is vital and nourishing to us uniquely. And importantly, to be able to actually have that nourishment for ourselves and have enough spare so that we can actually nurture others as well. It's a brilliant balancer for male and female energy, huge endocrine remedy, actually. A great trauma remedy. It's a much deeper acting arnica. It allows the healthy expression of emotions generally, actually, including anger, including suppressed anger or suppressed grief. And it supports us when we're exhausted, and exhausted in particular from prolonged periods of living a life that isn't really ours, that feels hard, that feels unfulfilling, that feels unrewarding, and actually perhaps even unsafe. And when, even though we've been kind of doing that there's a part of us that knows that there's more than this, and that we deserve more than this. And particularly when perhaps there's been an ancestral or generational passing down of long periods of suppressing that inner knowing, that inner intuition, that inner feeling that we have no choice but to do as we're told and to live our lives according to others rather than listening to our own inner wisdom. So there's a kind of stoicism there that has been tipped into putting up with, keeping quiet, keeping the head down, not making trouble. And this remedy allows that balanced tip, so that yes, there's stoicism, there's an ability to withstand, and an ability to continue and carry on and find the strength and the resolve to do that. But only when it's actually in the service of greater good, of something that is more important and healthy, and is about the long term rather than the short term. So yeah, I could go on and on about this incredible remedy. It offers so much. It's what I would term a polycrest in homeopathic speak, which is a wide-acting, deep-acting remedy that is capable of actually addressing many, many different expressions of dis-ease. But those are its key what's the word? Its keynotes. Sorry, I lost myself there for a second. So if you think, yes, that remedy, I could do some of that, then pop your Oak 1 or Oak 2 or both into the comments. If you actually feel called to take some of the remedy yourself, you'd like to actually explore what it feels like to actually take the homeopathic remedy in a physical form, in a pill form, then do get in touch with me, and we can talk about whether that is in fact relevant for you at this time. You could just book a free call with me to do that, and we can see whether oak is indeed something that could offer that strength and resilience for you at the moment, or whether there might be some other support that's more relevant. And yeah, as I say, I'm going to be transmitting the energy of that oak remedy to all who need it this evening. I'm not sure what time yet, so that's why I want you to add your name if you want to be included in that. And if you do want to have the access to that meditation technique, that connects us with the oak energy and enables us to actually send it out to those who need it, then you know what to do. Pop your oak 2 into the comments. So thank you very much for listening. I hope that you can see why this remedy is coming up for me so strongly at the moment, and why it may well offer you, or those that you care about, or those that you respect and honour, may benefit from this remedy. Thanks so much for listening, and as usual, take care and have a really nourishing, healthy week.